Afrospace TV, Africa to the world.
Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go?
The present situation of insecurity in the nation is worrisome. It's of late it's taken a bigger and higher dimension beyond the realms of everyday thinking. It's gone beyond kidnapping. It's gone beyond armed robbery. It's gotten to a stage where villages now are being ransacked in the Yoruba land, just like it was done in Benue, just like it was done in Plateau. This is what is worrying us, that we are fighting so many battles on so many grounds. In the northeast, you are fighting Boko Haram. North central, you are up with armed bandits. Right here in the southwest, we are facing what we call the Fulani herdsmen and what we perceive as massive infiltration of the southwest region by the notorious ISIS and the ISWA group acting as backup for the Fulani herdsmen. Let me make this very clear. When we were young, and for so many years, even our national stamp, what we knew as a Fulani herdsman, it's a handsome young man with a stick around his back of his neck. That's a cudgel he uses to whip the cattle into shape. But these days, you don't find those cudgels anymore. It's AK-47, machete, and all kinds of arms and ammunition that are used by these herdsmen. So there's that clear distinction is there that maybe because of cattle rustlers who come with guns, the herdsmen have been armed with guns. Maybe because the herdsmen need guns, they have hired guns from the invading Fulani army from the Futajalon, part of the fleeing army of Gaddafi from Libya, and a whole lot of mercenaries who see Nigeria as diamond pot that they can go in there, kidnap one or two people, get millions of naira, and continue the trade. So this is the worrisome part of it. One, it's the threat of security has a political undertone, and also in a historical fashion, because coming from 1846, when the Fulanis were repressed in the Ogunjalumi and in Osogbo, we're coming to a stage now where at the end of the day, history is about to repeat itself. History from Ilorin to Osogbo is about to repeat itself. And this is just a cautionary word for us all to be students of history and learn from it. Now, if you've tried as far back as that time with weapons and you failed, now democratically, if you can take over the land, why can't you? This is another threat to what you call security in Nigeria now, because everybody, all tribes, are afraid of being dominated by a particular tribe. True or false, but the signs are there. The ominous signs are there. And it's very clear that there is a puppet master behind this puppet, because all these things are not happening for nothing. Let me cast your mind back to some years back. Up north, Okada was banned, I think in 6 states. I think in 2 or 3 other states, almajiris were banned. Can I ask you, what has happened to those almajiris? Did they just disappear into the air? What has happened to the Okada, the various millions of bikes that you have from there? What has happened to them? For the keen observers and those who monitor closely and effectively, I think that invasion from the north did not stop, but was slowed down, particularly during the COVID period last year. And during that COVID period, you would also observe that there was massive movement of human beings. Now, the scenario becomes clearer that people, Nigerians, who daily assemble by the street, do nothing all day, all in the name of almajiris, were banned in some states, but they have now appeared in other states. They've appeared in states in the southwest, where they are basically and mostly Okada riders. You want to wonder how they got their bikes? They got the bikes, obviously, through sponsorship of the people who sent them here. Because on closer investigation, you'll find out that 2, 3, 4, or 5 of the former almajiris are tied to one motorcycle. And on a daily basis, they run their turn. So how are you going to get rid of that on the street? Now, with the rate at which the tribal flame of disunity is being blown or is being encouraged, you might find a situation where chaos or disorder occurs when there's a clash between settlements of almajiris that are all over areas from Victoria Island to the streets of Akure to the hinterlands of Oyo. So that is a warning to you. That is a warning that if in our farms, in our rural areas, people of no known origin carry AK-47, carry heavy ammunition, and unsettle the villages, unsettle our towns, if it happens in the cities, what is going to happen to you and I? So as a Yoruba man and as a Nigerian, I want to finally urge the president to quickly stop the carnage that is going on in this country. Stop this bloodshed. Stop the ongoing tearing of the fabric of unity of that nation called Nigeria. Yeah, we're losing it every day. I don't believe that this nation can go on any further without us constructively restructuring and changing the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's teaching time, they say, saves 9. This is just to urge well-meaning Nigerians, well-meaning Yoruba sons and daughters, to sit down, think more, talk less, act more. Thank you.
Some people now have everything, while many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria.
The people are the best watch for the society. No matter how you look at it, you have to get the people involved in security surveillance. There has to be surveillance reports coming in from neighborhood watch, from vigilantes, from communities in the villages. There has to be constant surveillance. With constant surveillance, you'll be able to kill some of this porosity as it is.
Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria.
I would say that where they're getting it wrong is simple. It's for not spending their security vote wisely. This is a time that they should show us how effective the security vote is. It's not by buying cars for policemen anymore that does it. It's what is it in terms of security that you're putting on the ground. By now, the governor of Oyo State should sit down in his office and get a surveillance report. Yes, surveillance report of all Okeogun, Old Oyo Park. The governor of Ogun State should be able to look at all the forests in Ogun State, J4, Shagamu Forest, Ayetoro Forest, Imeko Forest. They should all be able to have good surveillance that can track down all these cells of invaders that have invaded the land. So what they are not also doing is they're too far apart from the people in trying to tackle the issue of security. They think it's a pen and biro thing. No, it is massive mobilization, massive sensitization. Be aware of your neighborhood. Report to the nearest police station of what you have observed. If you have reported they have not opened a special office in each governor's office where people can go and report. But all this is not happening. And I mean, some of them, so many of the governors are personal friends. We've tried to reach out to them, but what can you do? If you are shielded off, all you have to do is to find a way to get across to your friend and tell him that, hello, Aketi, you can do it better. Hello, Oyetola, you can do it better. Hello, Dapo, you can do it better. Hello, Fayemi, you can do it much better. Hello, Tinubu, you can do it much better by saying something now. Because no matter what you want to get from the political system, you have to first attach your feelings with that of the people. And I think from all what I've said, it's obvious that a political solution is not what we are looking for. We're looking for a practical human solution. Thank you.
Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria.
I think that issue has been overflogged. It cannot be relied on. It's overdue for an overhaul, but it has constitutional implication. How serious are people to tackle the constitutional implication is what is missing. It's from the State House of Assembly to the National Assembly. There are a lot of things that people are supposed to do, elected legislators are supposed to do, that are not being done. Nobody is perfect, but what we are saying is that this is the beginning of a new Yoruba land. This is the beginning of what we will call a restructured Yoruba land, where people work for each other, where people encourage others to grow, where people look after their brothers, where we lift ourselves up from the abyss of disaster that we have been plunged into. And for all it takes, I know there are people like you and I out there who are very concerned about all that is going, but would not want to be seen or heard. What we say is that it's only God. It's only God that sees all. You and I don't, not even the government. So thank you.
Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere.
I don't think there's a war situation yet. I don't think a war situation would arise. What I see is that Yorubas would always overcome their problems when it occurs. We might need a little nudge here and there, but when it comes, when those nudges come, you know that it brings us more prepared, more articulate, and more attentive to our problems. Right now, we might not be articulate enough, we might not be attentive to enough, we might not be speaking with one voice as expected. But with time, and with this growing influence of being overthrown from your land, then that's consciousness growing, and it will come to pass. Thank you very much, and keep your eyes open.